should you scout for Sygna, Emmet, and Eelektross? Are they any good? Well, guys, welcome to the month of November, where DNA decides to show 8 new scoutable limited sync pairs to our faces. And, well, this is not exactly the first time they have been quite sus in November. In November, well, because EV Day falls on November 21, they have been quite should I say scummy for the months of November in the past. They have thrown like variety scout. I think the first time they threw a variety scout was last November, where they threw 3 evolutions at us. And since then, November has not exactly been a kind month, at least to me. And this year, they decided to throw a brand new, unnecessary, super whaley, extremely slap in free-to-play players' faces mechanic known as Super Awakening. And this is a Poke Fair. And as you know, as moving forward, every single new Poke Fair not only, well, has an EX role which started last anniversary, like 4-year anniversary. Not only do they have 5 out of 5 grids, which started, I forgot when already, and now every single new Poke Fair has a brand new mechanic known as Super Awakening, which means 10 out of 10. That means you have to max out your sync pair. You have to get 5 copies first. 5 copies unlocks the sync grid to everything you can get. And then you can expand the energy using 100,000 cop sync orbs. And from then on, you don't need to do that. But you can give Super Awakening candies, or you can exchange your regular move candies or candy coins to a move candy, and then from there you exchange to their personal Super Awakening candy. And by having them max out 5 out of 5 Super Awakening, that means 10 out of 10, but worse, you get to unlock a brand new passive skill for these sync pairs. And we will discuss Sygna Emmet's passive skill later on. It's pretty good, but it's really scummy. And not even us whalers cannot even catch up and keep up. Yes, the game makes obtaining move candies a little bit easier, because first to fourth multi-pull for Poke Fairs from this point on, new Poke Fairs at least, will give us 1 move candy coin of their particular role. So for this particular sync pair, for the first 2, 3, 4th multi-pull, you will get 1 field move candy coin each. And then, for the 5th multi-pull, you get a Super Awakening candy. Remember, you need 5 Super Awakening candies in order to unlock his Super Awakening passive skill. Yes, you can level him up to Super Awakening level 1, but that just multiplies his stats by 1.1 times. It's not that crazy, but yeah, it does boost up his stats. 2 out of 5, 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5 will boost some more things for him. But 5 out of 5 is the only time that you'll be able to unlock his Super Awakening passive, and that's the thing that you want for these new, or rather these old Poke Fairs that have been boosted. That 5 out of 5, aka 10 out of 10 Super Awakening passive. And then 6 multi to 9th multi, you will get 2 move candy coins of their particular role for each multi. And that means 2 field move candy coins for the 6, 7, 8, 9th. And then for the 10th multi-pull, you will get another Super Awakening candy. That means, well, you can exchange that Super Awakening candy. You have to exchange it to their personal custom Super Awakening candy. You can do that by watching my Super Awakening video. I will not be talking that much about Super Awakening in this video. But overall, you will be getting 12 field move candy coins if you decide to go all the way to the 9th multi-pull, and a Super Awakening candy for the 10th as well as the 5th multi-pull on his banner. Every single time you'll be able to get him, you get 4 power-up, 5-star power-ups. I think you can give that to anyone. Then you also get 4 tech roll coins. You need 20 in order to get a tech move, tech roll cake, which to unlock his EX roll. But anyway, guys, let's move on from that and let's check out his kit. So this sync pair is really, really interesting. In my opinion, this is a field unit, an electric field unit with an EX roll of tech. But not only that, he excels very much as a support sync pair. And what do I mean by that? Well, his defenses are not exactly impressive as a support sync pair. His offenses are okay, not too bad. His HP is pretty high. His speed stat is pretty okay. And over here at the top, right of the screen above my head is the Super Awakening boosted stats if you decide to Super Awaken them. So if you look at his passive, Outbound Train announcement will give everyone free move next after you use your max move that is affected by a status condition. So you'll have to give the opponent a status condition first. And the second part of the passive, if the opponent is flinching, trap, or confused, you'll get a super effective, or rather a physical moves up next effect to the user. So give everyone free move next and give yourself physical moves up next effect by 2 stat ranks. How do you do this? Again, you'll have to have the opponent be affected by a status conditions first. That means poison, body poison, burned, paralyzed, frozen. But you'll know later on that freezing is not exactly the best synergy with Sygna suit Emmet. But for this exact passive skill, yes, freezing will be okay. So why does he have like this weird thing in his kit? Well, this is to synergize with Sygna suit Ingo, which I did not make a video. Sygna suit Ingo can burn the opponent, can make the opponent confused. So in order to synergize with Sygna suit Ingo, and Sygna suit Ingo can also make the opponent flinch and make the opponent trapped. This sync pair can also make the opponent trapped. The rest will be totally different. Raises the chance of inflicting status conditions with the additional effects of moves. What status condition? Well, Thunder Fang can make the opponent paralyze. It can also make the opponent flinch. And the second part of this passive skill will also leave the opponent trapped. So, using Thunder Fang, you can trap the opponent, you can make the opponent flinch, you can make the opponent paralyze. And every single time you attack an opponent, you get to raise your attack stat +2 and raise your critical hit rate +1 with Honing hit 9. Now, over to the leftmost side, we have his Super Awaken passive. Again, this is super hard to obtain, but just in case you get that, if you use your trainer move for the very first time, that means you use Aim for Victory, and I think you can also use Unova Solidarity. You get to lower your sync move countdown -2, making him a little sprinty. And then, when Unova Circle is applied to the field of play, you will have your sync moves up, raised damage to all your allied sync pairs. Now, Unova Solidarity can already power up everyone's sync moves. This is just a little extra boost. And not only that, the third part of the passive says it also extends the duration of Unova Defensive Circle. That means you'll probably be able to use, to extend that span of time a little bit more before you decide to use another Unova Solidarity. So this is pretty okay. This is not just a multiplier, but also like a sprint. So this is kind of like a sprint field sync pair, considering he's a field role. Now, Thunder Fang, again, can have a higher chance of making the opponent flinch and paralyze at the same time. Unova Solidarity, we just talked about that. Plus, not only that, it also raises the physical moves up next effect and special moves up next effect, and also powers up your allies' moves, normal attacks, and reduces the attack damage that you receive from the opponent's normal attacks and sync moves. Now, you have a buddy move known as the Sending Lightning Wild Charge. So the opponent has to have either a status condition or a status infliction. That means if the opponent is flinching, confused, trapped, burned, poisoned, frozen, asleep, whatchamacallit, this will be unlocked. And if the opponent is paralyzed, and you attack the opponent using Descending Lightning Wild Charge, the opponent's defense will go down, -2. If the opponent is burned, you get to lower the opponent's special defense, -2. Remember, you cannot have burn and paralysis at the same time. If the opponent is flinching, you will lower the opponent's speed, -2. If the opponent is poisoned or badly poisoned, you'll restore the HP of all allied sync pairs. And then, what about when the opponent is confused? You will give yourself remove next effect if the opponent is confused. If the opponent is trapped, you'll raise your physical moves up next effect by 1 stat rank for himself. What if the opponent's asleep? Nothing. Descending Lightning Wild Charge will just be unlocked, but you do not get any benefits. What if the opponent is frozen? Nothing as well. So, this is only good if the opponent is burned, paralyzed, or poisoned. My personal favorite is if the opponent is poisoned, you get to recover every single one of your allies' HP, making him a really nice healer for poison teams, because you can decide to use this, and then every single time, for example, you want the opponent to flinch, switch to Thunder Fang. There's going to be a higher chance of making the opponent flinch, and then you can switch back to Descending Lightning Wild Charge. They both have just used 2 move gauges. Descending Lightning Wild Charge is much stronger than Thunder Fang, but just in case you want the opponent to flinch, you can just switch to Thunder Fang anytime. And then his game changer move, Aim for Victory, is his trainer move. It's just 1 MP, and you have to choose the ally that you want to use this again on. You give that ally critical hit next effect. You give that ally super effective up next effect. And you give that ally 50% stronger sync move damage. Plus raise that ally's ground type rebuff +2, which you can max out by 3. Plus, positive rebuffs mean you will receive lower ground type damage from the opponent. So, just in case you want to nuke an opponent, whether it's yourself or some other ally, you want to just deal massive damage. For example, you can, if you want, you can kind of like, if you're pairing, what is a good example? That I want to say N and Zekrom, but I'm trying not to because that's Super Awakening. For example, if you want to pair him up with a 6-star EX, this is so hard, but for example, you go for like poison type, and you want to pair him up with Luker. Okay, Luker, semi-free to play sync pair, poison type. So Luker normally is pretty okay, not too strong. And yes, if the opponent is poison, you get to dish out a little bit more damage, yes. If the opponent's weak to poison type attacks, you use Aim for Victory on Luker. Not only will you guarantee critical hits, he's a striker, and by 6-star EXing him, you get to hit every single opponent. Not only will that guarantee that you give or you hit all 3 opponents with a critical hit, but you also apply super effective up next effect. I'm not sure if Luker can give himself super effective up next effect, but at least that's a 1.5% or 1.5 times, aka 50% stronger sync move damage. Plus, that sync move up next effect +2 is another 50% stronger damage. So that means you're powering up the Luker's sync move by 100% at least. You get to hit the opponent normally ×2 damage. From Luker's original damage, it's like ×2 just by using 1 Aim for Victory on the opponent. Now you have Max Lightning as a max move, it just turns the field of plates into electric terrain. So if you want, you can just use an electric type. Now I'm going to talk about N now. N has static boost 3, I think, plus bronze sync 3, if I'm not mistaken. One is if the opponent is paralyzed, you get to power up your sync move by 30%. Another one, just raise your attack stat, you will get to buff up your sync move by another 30%. He can give himself super effective up next effect, but only if the opponent, or if you do not have a sync buff yet. So after that, you will not be able to give yourself super effective up next anymore. You can use aim for victory on N, and then have electric terrain ready. So that will boost up your sync move immediately because the opponent, you know, N has an electric type sync move. It will boost up because of electric terrain. Plus N's 2 passive skills or 2 sync grid skills, which power up his sync move by 60%. Plus, let's assume that he does not have super effective up next anymore. You use aim for victory on N. That will boost his sync move by 100% because of the super effective up next effect, plus the sync move up next effect. And if you have enough resources to give N his Super Awakening passive, if I'm not mistaken, boosts his sync move by 90% plus 50%. That's 140% stronger sync move damage. And that will just dish out huge damage. And we're not even done. Unova Solidarity can boost up your sync move plus the other passive skill. This one, drive the rules and follow the rules and drive safely. If you have enough resources, will boost another extra boost for your sync move. So he excels as a very nice support sync pair to boost up your sync pairs. So I can imagine bringing him along in some, maybe, I don't know, electric week damage challenge stages, just to give my nuker super effective up next effect, to give my nuker electric terrain, to give my nuker that sync moves up next effect, and just dish out so much damage is in just one go. And he's a field unit. If you use your sync move, you will have electric terrain extended. If you have give him the EX roll, his sync move will be 1.5 times stronger. But yeah, that's that. And Unova Solidarity just powers him up even more. And just in case you have enough resources again. But even without the Super Awakening thing, he is so good. He's so good. If you decide to pair him up with poison, sync pairs, well, make sure to poison the opponent before using Thunder Fang, because Thunder Fang has a high chance of paralyzing the opponent. So use your poison type sync pairs to poison the opponent. And if you hit a poison opponent, every single one of your sync pairs will recover HP. That means he not only is a defender with the Nova Solidarity and power-ups everyone, he can recover everyone's HP with Descending Lightning Wild Charge. He can power up your nuker with Aim for Victory. And the good thing is, and the best thing is, Aim for Victory has an MP refresh, which we will talk about in just a little bit. But before that, he has a Lucky Cookie Team Sync Move Boost 2. If you use your max move, well, you can only use it once. Everyone's sync move up next effect will be +2. That means 20% sync move increase in damage for everyone. And then if you decide to use Aim for Victory on that particular sync pair that you will nuke after, that's like 70% stronger sync move damage immediately. Now, 1 out of 5, you get Headstrong, pretty okay. 2 out of 5, you get Aim for Victory, move on ally, sync move boost up to 9. And if you decide to give, Aim for Victory on a specific sync pair, instead of 50% stronger sync move damage, it's 70% sync move damage, plus max lightning passive, whatever, plus max lightning rather, Team Sync Move Boost 2, that's a 90% stronger Sync Move damage in just one Sync move, in just one cycle. Aim for Victory MP refresh to 30%. At least it's not 10%. You'll have, you can just use Aim for Victory twice on a particular sync pair. That immediately guarantees you crit. That immediately guarantees the plus 1.5. No, it's actually times 2.5 damage. Your same move will be 2.5 times stronger. Because 1 time is, well, I'm confused now. 1% is the base, plus another 100% for your sync move up next effect, plus 5.5% for the sync boost, sync move, what? I mean, super effective up next. Let's not do some math here. I'm confused now. Okay, circle move gauge up to or speed up the move gauge, circle status immunity, ground guard, interference immunity, shock recovery, thunder fang aggravation 3. If you decide to just use thunder fang and instead of using his buddy move, well, it's gonna almost always, maybe, make the opponent flinch. I'm not sure how good this is compared to Super Awakened Nemona's 80% flinching chance, but I think this is also gonna be a very nice boosting chance of your, flinching the enemy. Thunderfang move gauge refresh 3. 3 out of 5, you get electric terrain extension, extends the duration of the electric terrain. Haymaker, multiplier, head start 1, hit paralyze opponent attack down to 9. So not only do you lower the opponent's defense, if you use Descending Lightning Wild Charge if the opponent is paralyzed, but you also lower the opponent's attack stat. Max move hit, team apply paralysis 9. This is only if you want the opponent paralyzed. Instead of using Thunder Fang, you can just use your max move to paralyze every single opponent. Power induction 5, if you feel this electric terrain, your moves will be powered up by 50%. Trap and sync 9, if the opponent is trapped, your sync move will be 90% stronger. Max lightning power up and sync nuke power up over here. 4 out of 5, you get ally set, circle, team physical, and special boost up 1/9. Anyone in your team applies a circle, you will have your physical moves up next effect and special moves up next effect for all your allies. That means your attacks are going to be 40% stronger. And Trainer Sync Redemption 1 will bring back 1 Aim for Victory as well as 1 Unova Solidarity. And you know how much I love Aim for Victory at the current moment. 5 out of 5, you get Sync Move or max move physical boost up to 9. Once you use your sync move or max move, you will have your own physical moves up next effect plus 2. And last but not the least, you have Unova Circle team moves up 2. If you have Unova Solidarity or Unova Circle active, you will power up every single ally's defenses. So I'm not exactly a fan of his 5 out of 5 kit, but I am pretty okay with the 4 out of 5 kit with Trainer Sync Redemption. But the best for me, if you wanna make good use of him, is 2 out of 5. Because 2 out of 5, you get that Aim for Victory MP Refresh 2. And you want to use Aim for Victory on your nuker, whoever it is, to guarantee that you will at least hit the enemy with times 2 sync move damage guaranteed. Times 2. I've already discussed that. Just rewind how it became a times 2 damage for your sync move. So again, for this particular sync pair, I believe 2 out of 5 is the best. But if you want to nuke using Sygna Suit Emmet, 3 out of 5 is obviously with Haymaker as well as Trap and Sync 9. But if you want to use him as like a support, 2 out of 5 is the best. But, again, Super Awakening is there. If you want to make him even better and stuff, you can Super Awakening him. But that's that. I think the EX roll is not too amazing. You can give him the Tech EX roll just to boost up his stats. Every single stat will be boosted. So if you want to EX roll him, okay, go ahead and do that. But for me, he can stick with his field roll. and probably a super awakened role, but the field role is okay because not only does he fulfill his roles as a field unit, he can also become a tech unit from flinching the opponent, from lowering the opponent's stats. He can become a healer if the opponent is poisoned. He can just power up your sync pairs, offensive supporter, and that's that. This sync pair as a support is pretty well, in my opinion. He is kind of meta. If you want to maximize the damage, he can boost up your damage way more than even Arc-Suit Steven. Arc-Suit Steven can raise your sing move up next effect +3 for everyone. This one just 1, but +5 is pretty crazy, and not only +5 but super effective up next effect. So that way you can probably remove whoever is giving you a super effective up next effect. Like for example, the one that people often use is Cosplay Steven, or maybe Classic Red. And by having Sygna with Emmet, and if you're lucky with the MP refreshes, Aim for Victory can replace Red and Cosplay Steven and will power up your sync pairs just very, very, very quickly. Damage challenge, we'll have to see if that will be good. But this sync pair, as a standalone unit, as a support unit, as a 2 out of 5 unit, gains a 9 to 9.5 in my book. Yeah, as a support sync pair, he gets, as a supporter, as an offensive supporter, he gets a 9 to 9.5 in my book because he's pretty meta, and that Aim for Victory is just really, really good. But remember, this is not a full support. If you want to survive your battles, you'll have to raise your defenses, and this sync pair cannot raise defenses. And his defense is not exactly great. So as an offensive support, he cannot raise offensive stats, just the damage, just the multiplier. Take note of that as well. But he's really good in what he does. And with that said, guys, if you want to scout for him. A lot of people like the Subway Brothers. I am not crazy about the Subway Brothers or Subway Masters. But yeah, he has a very good kit and I like it. Much more than I like Ingo's kit. But I completely underestimated Sygna with Ingo, and I take back everything. I thought I did not, I said, because I said nothing. I did not make a video. I take back what I thought about Sygna with Ingo. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you're scouting for this sync pair. Let me know if you're super awakening this sync pair. And until then, if you enjoyed this video, do hit the thumbs up button. This video has become much longer than my usual because I did a little bit of rant in between, and it's almost 3:30 and I have to be awake by 5:45. So good luck to me if you want to help me out recover my funds. Coffee.com/SPLGum page. I think my Patreon link is down there as well if you want to help me out in Patreon. Other than that, a huge shout out goes to all my members. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you to Jeremy for greeting my mom. I think you're the only one who greeted my mom. It's my mom's birthday on November 1. So happy birthday! I gave her a nice fan because she loves portable fans. And it's kind of, well, I hope she likes it. But until then, guys, join the members by clicking on the join button below, and I will see you in my scouts. Until then. Rawr.